long before sailors learned to fear this place, before it was drawn on maps and whispered about in ports, before it was given a name, it already existed. Not as a legend, not as a mystery, but as a fracture, a silent wound in the fabric of the world. The ocean above, it looked no different from any other stretch of water. Waves rose and fell. Storms came and passed. Yet beneath that surface, something was wrong in a way that could not be measured by instruments or explained by reason. Ancient myths speak of a being who fell, not into fire, not into eternal flames, but into exile, cast out not merely from heaven, but from creation itself. He was not destroyed. He was not redeemed. He was sealed away between worlds, where time does not move forward but coils in on itself, where reality bends without breaking, and where existence becomes something unfinished. This place was not meant to hold life. It was meant to hold punishment. What if the region now known as the Bermuda Triangle is not cursed by nature, not haunted by storms or magnetism, but is the scar left behind by that fall? A gate that was never meant to remain open. Ships that pass through the area often report the same unsettling sensations. Compasses lose their sense of direction. Radios fall silent without warning. The horizon seems closer, heavier, as if the sky itself is pressing down on the sea. Sailors describe moments where time feels stretched, minutes that last too long, or hours that vanish entirely. These reports are usually dismissed as stress, fatigue, or imagination, and yet they repeat themselves with unsettling consistency. Then come the disappearances. Not wrecks, not debris, not bodies, just absence. Entire ships vanish without sending distress calls. Aircraft disappear mid-flight, leaving no trace behind, as if they were erased from existence rather than destroyed by force. Search teams comb the ocean and find nothing. No oil slicks, no floating remains, no evidence of catastrophe. It is as if the sea opens its hand and closes it again, leaving nothing behind to prove that anything was ever there. But sometimes, and this is what disturbs people the most, the sea gives something back. A ship reappears days, weeks, or even years later, drifting, intact, undamaged. Its hull bears no sign of impact. Its cargo remains untouched. Food sits on tables. Personal belongings lie exactly where they were left. Yet there is no crew, no sign of struggle, no explanation for where the people went. Silence fills the decks like a presence. If destruction were the goal, none of this would make sense. It would be simpler to sink ships to scatter wreckage across the ocean floor. But this is not destruction. This is selection. If the Bermuda Triangle is a fracture between worlds, then every ship that passes too close becomes something else entirely. Not just a vessel, but a bridge. A thin line between what exists and what should not. And on the other side of that fracture, something waits. The fallen one cannot leave his prison. The exile was designed to be perfect, a place without doors, without paths, without escape. But the fracture allows him to reach through, not physically, but conceptually. He cannot walk the world. He cannot touch it with hands or wings, but he can influence it through what crosses the boundary. Ships, aircraft, human lives. He does not always take them to destroy. That would be too simple, too final. Instead, he takes them to demonstrate something far more important: that creation is fragile, that human existence can be interrupted, altered, and returned without explanation, that even what God made can be bent. When a ship returns without its crew, people often call it a miracle. They speak of divine protection, of mysterious forces that spared the vessel from destruction. But miracles do not feel deliberate in this way. Miracles comfort. They restore. They bring meaning. This does not. This feels intentional. It feels like a message. You were here. You were seen. And you were spared this time. The returned ships are not gifts. They are reminders. Proof that something beyond human understanding is watching, choosing, and acting. The fallen one does not see humanity as enemies, nor even as prey. To him, humans are pieces in a larger argument, evidence in an eternal act of defiance. He cannot strike at God directly, but he can take what God values. He can remove lives from the world, return their shells, and leave behind questions that will never be answered. Each disappearance is not an act of rage, but of demonstration. Each returned vessel is a quiet declaration of power. Look what I can touch. Look what I can take. Look what I can give back. And so the ocean keeps its silence. Governments investigate. Scientists measure. Skeptics explain. Storms are blamed. Human error is cited. Statistics are adjusted. Charts are redrawn. Yet the pattern remains. The same region. The same absence of wreckage. The same stories from those who passed near the edge and lived to tell about it. Some sailors refuse to cross those waters at night. Others claim to hear sounds where none should exist, low vibrations that travel through the hull, like distant chanting carried by the sea. Pilots speak of sudden vertigo, of skies that feel too wide, of moments when the instruments no longer seem to belong to the aircraft. These are dismissed, of course. Fear makes the mind invent things. Legends spread faster than truth. And yet, fear usually exaggerates what already exists. If the Bermuda Triangle were merely dangerous, it would behave like any other deadly region of the ocean. There would be wreckage, patterns of damage, predictable causes. But this place behaves differently. It does not kill openly. It erases quietly. A gate does not announce itself. It waits. Perhaps the fallen one does not seek to destroy the world. Perhaps his revenge is more subtle than that. Perhaps his goal is not domination, but doubt. Each vanished ship leaves behind unanswered questions. Each returned vessel challenges the idea of safety, order, and divine protection. Over time, these questions accumulate, eroding certainty piece by piece. And doubt, once planted, grows. Maybe that is the true purpose of the fracture, not as an entrance to hell, but as a reminder that the world is not as sealed as people believe, that there are cracks in reality where something unfinished still presses against existence, waiting for moments when it can reach through. The sea above the triangle remains calm on most days. Ships continue to cross it. Aircraft continue to fly overhead. Life goes on, indifferent to what lies beneath. And yet the disappearances continue, quietly, patiently, without spectacle. Because the gate does not hunger. It waits, and the fallen one does not rage. He watches,